Here's a quick tip for you. Let's say you're doing some test-driven development and you have a suite of unit tests and you have very similar kinds of initialization happening each time. So you can see I'm testing a parser, and each time I'm loading some sample data, I'm instantiating my parser, and I'm calling the parse method. Well, we should recognize this is a DRY violation, right? This is a don't repeat yourself problem. So one simple thing we could do is pull this out into some kind of a initialization method that we call. So maybe we can say initialize test, for example. And so once we have that set up, we can paste the code in there. Now, of course, in order to get access to result there, we're going to have to promote that to a field and remove this here. Parser, of course, is perfectly happy to be a local variable here. So now we initialize the test and we check that value. So this gives us a nice advantage here that we can simply call initialize test each time. And run our tests after refactoring. Good. So that's pretty standard refactoring practice, right? You see some code that looks almost identical, or in this case, exactly identical, and you extract it into a private method. However, JUnit also gives us a really useful utility to automate this because it is so common. We can annotate a method as to run before every test using the before annotation. And by convention, this method is called setup. The reason for that is historical. In older versions of JUnit, it had to be called setup, but now we can just make this a before method. So we can take this code, plop it into our setup, and now there's no reason to call initialize test anymore. We can get rid of it here. Oops. We can get rid of it here. We can get rid of it here. Because this method, the before method, is going to be run before every single individual test. So we can use that to set up our test configuration. Nice. There is a corresponding method after, which you can use to clean up anything that you've opened, like files or this input stream, for example. We can make sure we close it after. But once you know that's there, that gives you a hook to go and poke around for yourself. So hopefully that'll help you write some cleaner code.